Hello everyone and welcome to today's episode of my top 10 favourites. This time we're not covering a battle themed top 10, we are actually covering a top 10 top 10 gym leaders. Sorry, my memory went blank then. So to start off today's episode we have coming in at number 1, Tate and Lisa, or as I prefer to go, Lisa and Tate, who are my top 10. Who's number 1 of my top 10 due to the fact that they are a psychic type user. They are double battles, 2 of my favourite things in Pokemon, and they just generally were awesome on both the first playthrough and on the remake. So they come in at number 1. Then in at number 2 we have Whitney. A lot of you can probably guess why. It's because of her Miltank, and I am a lover of tanky Pokemon. So Whitney was basically me as a gym leader. Only instead of a Ferrothorn, she has a Miltank, who was actually one of my favourite Pokemon before Ferrothorn was released. So who's number 3? So as you guys know, my favourite typing is Psychic. So as you probably guessed, there is another Psychic type user on this top 10. Sabrina at number 3. She's from my favourite generation, Gen 1, as well as using my favourite type, which is Psychic, and was actually my favourite gym leader until Lisa and Tate were brought out, because of the fact that I loved Psychic types from Gen 1. So in she comes at number 3. She got pushed out by Whitney when I discovered my love for tanky Pokemon. So at number 4 we have Roxanne. Now, Roxanne's just an interesting one. Again, rock types, tanky Pokemon. But not the reason why I loved Roxanne. She got me into Gen 3. From that first gym, I realized this is going to be a tough one. This is going to be a tough game, and it's going to push me to the limit of my battling capabilities, which is why she is not. She's like the second Gen 3 gym leader already, and she's not even the last. So who do we have coming in at number 5? We have Jasmine, Steel types being one of my top 3 types. It's only natural that I have Jasmine on this list. She brought Steel types into my heart when I played through Gen 2, and that never left. And also, again, bringing in my love for stalling Pokemon. From Gen 2, I got both Whitney and Jasmine getting me into those Pokemon. So, who do we have coming in at number 6? We have Roxy, because Toxic Stall. Basically, Poison. I felt like Poison was very underrated. I very nearly brought in Koga, but I decided to bring in Roxy instead, because Koga did not stay as a gym leader, and therefore I would classify, because of his most recent appearance being an Elite Four member, I can't really classify him as a gym leader on today's list, due to the fact that I do have Gen 2 gym leaders on this list. I would have loved to, but if he had stayed as a gym leader in Gen 2, he might have just pushed Roxy off of this list, because I would have kept him as a gym leader in but I would have put him more possibly on my top 10 Elite Four members. But Roxy takes the place for Poison here on today's list, as she really made me happy seeing that Poison was used as a gym again. So who do we have coming in at number 7? We have Viola. Now this is an interesting one. A lot of people don't realize that one of my top 5 typings is Bug. I do love Bug types, mostly because of Butterfree. And Viola just showed me that Bug types could... It's between Viola and Bugsy, and I felt like I was already giving too much love to Gen 2. I should give some love at least to Gen 6. And Viola was showing me that Bugs still are a good typing. I mean, past Gen 5 of Berg was just a bit too bland for my liking. Bit too easy. Viola actually gave me a bit of hassle in the first time I played through through Gen 6, given the fact that her Masquerain was not the worst. She showed that Masquerain could be a very good Pokemon. Until I saw Viola, I had just completely forgotten Masquerain even existed, and she reminded me that Masquerain still has its uses. So, who do we have coming in at number 8? It is another stalling Pokemon user, Norman. Norman and his slaking. His slaking made me think a lot more about switches, and he showed me that I could get a lot of bonuses from switching. Until I played through Gen 3, I just kept using Pokemon. I would switch them in, and then I would use them until they'd faint. And then I played through Gen 4 and realized something's not right here. I'm struggling somewhere. And then I went back to Gen 3 and played through Gen 3 again. And when I hit Norman again, I struggled on him. But then I realized, hold on, he uses Yawn, but then he has to wait a turn. So, why don't I just, instead of staying in and letting my Pokemon fall asleep, try switching? And it showed me that if you could find the right opportunity to switch could change the course of an entire game. So if it wasn't for Norman, I would never have realized just how good a simple switch in could be. So now you're wondering who's the last two? And you probably guessed it because of the way I'm holding my phone. You can see Giovanni is next. So here we have Giovanni. Now he's a strange one. He breaks that boundary of evil team leader and gym leader. He, to this day, is, to my knowledge, the only evil team leader that is also a gym leader. And you could put the same argument to, he's not a gym leader in Gen 2, but I just didn't want to include Blue. Including Blue would have just been like, I would have to agree that Blue is then good, and I am one of the people who believes that Red is good and Blue is just too easy. But Giovanni, I included him purely for one reason that defines the fact that he's not an Elite Four member like Koga. He is two things at the same time in a game. He is a evil team leader and a gym leader. And those two things, he broke that boundary. He's to this day, still, since Gen 1, the only evil team leader to also be a gym leader. I mean, he just shows you that there's more to life than being evil. He can also run a successful gym, a successful company, as well as being an evil team leader with his own motivations, his own things that he wants to do. So, who do we have rolling in at number 10? We have Maylene. Main reason I wanted to include someone from Diamond and Pearl, but also because she gave me a lot of troubles. I had to retry her gym about 5 times the first time I played through Diamond, and that was because I could never find a way around Lucario. And again, showed me that steel types are amazing. Another gym leader who just proved to me that a steel type has more uses than one. A steel type is not just a wall, but also igniting my love for the steel typing. Because of her Lucario, I realized steel types are have a lot more going for them than I thought. I thought they were just one-way Pokemon. They can only do one thing, and that is sit there, take a hit, and slowly watch your opponent die to your status moves. But then I realized this Pokemon like Lucario out there that just break that. They just like, no, I don't care that I'm a steel type. I'm going to do something very different to what most steel types do, and I'm just going to punch people in the face until they give in. And I never liked Lucario until I faced it against Maylene. I thought it was overrated. Nothing good can come from this Pokemon. But then Maylene came in and just showed me that there's more. there is more to Lucario than what it looks like. He's not just one way. He doesn't just punch. He actually uses he uses status moves. He uses physical moves. He uses special moves. He can be built in whatever way you want. And that was why I decided to put Maylene as number 10 on this list. But anyway, guys, that will be it. Those are the top 10 gym leaders those are my top 10 gym leaders. What I would like to hear from you guys is, what are your top 10 gym leaders? Now, this isn't the only top 10 list I'm going to be doing this week. I will be uploading another one probably tomorrow. So keep an eye out for that. This is just a top 10 list that I figured I wanted to put out there because I get asked a fair few times, what's my favorite gym leader and why? And I figured I talk about my favorite gym leaders a lot in my playthroughs, so why not just put together a top 10 for you guys? So anyway, guys, because this is an unusual top 10, I'm not going to ask you to put what top 10 you would like to see next in the comments. Instead, I'll ask you that in tomorrow's video. However, what I want to ask you today is, what are your top 10 favorite gym leaders and why? Why are they your top 10 favorite gym leaders? Is it because of their typing? Is it because of something they brought to you, like Maylene and Whitney did for me and Jasmine? Or like my favorite typing, which is why Liz and Tate and Sabrina. But it could be none of those things. It could be something entirely different. But what I want to hear is your favorite top 10, your top 10 favorite gym leaders and why they are your favorite top 10. Also, if you are new to the channel, please do hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. I'm going to aim for 10 likes on today's video. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed. And if you're new, do hit that subscribe button and hit that bell icon to be notified whenever I go live or whenever I upload a video. I go live every day for 2 to 3 hours a day. And also, do check out my Discord. It is linked in the description of every single video. Thank you, everyone. This has been my top 10 favorite gym leaders. I will catch you in the next video.